Max was the canine dog everyone feared. Once he was the pride of the department, powerful, lightning fast, loyal to the bone. But all of that changed the night an explosion stole the life of his handler. From that day on, Max wasn't the same. He snarled at everyone, lunged at his kennel doors, tore apart anything within reach. Untrainable. That's what the report said. Trainers gave up. Officers avoided him. Even the most seasoned experts couldn't reach him. Behind closed doors, some whispered the word no one wanted to say out loud: euthanasia. But then, one little boy walked into the precinct, and everything changed. The mood inside the police precinct was heavy like a storm cloud hanging low. 5 officers sat around a battered oak table, their coffee gone, cold files spread across the wood like little tombstones. Each paper carried the same painful truth: Max was dangerous. Captain Harris rubbed a tired hand over his face. "We've tried every handler in the region," he said quietly. "If we can't rehabilitate him, we have to consider other options." His voice trailed off, but everyone knew what he meant. Across the table, Officer Blake shook his head. "It doesn't feel right," he muttered. "Max saved lives. He deserves a chance." "But what chance?" another officer countered. "He's unpredictable. We can't risk someone getting hurt." An uneasy silence followed. The only sound was the slow ticking of the wall clock. That's when Sophie, a young trainer who hadn't been with the team long, spoke up. "I heard about a program." She began softly, almost afraid to say the words. The room turned toward her. "A program where therapy animals work with children who have disabilities. Sometimes, that connection helps heal them both." Captain Harris frowned. "Children? You want to put a child in front of Max?" Sophie swallowed hard. "Not just any child," she said. "There's a boy, Liam. He's blind. And his father was a K9 officer. He has a way with dogs no one can explain." The words hung in the air, fragile but hopeful. No one could imagine what a 7-year-old could do that grown men couldn't. But desperation has a way of opening doors we'd normally keep shut. The next morning, the precinct was quiet in a way that felt unnatural. Sophie led Liam through the doors. He was small for his age, with shaggy brown hair and a white cane that tapped gently against the tile floor. Behind his thick blue glasses, his eyes couldn't see, but his calm expression seemed to see right through everyone. 4 officers stood nearby, arms crossed, watching with barely hidden skepticism. Liam paused inside the doorway, tilting his head like he was listening for something. From down the hall came the restless sound of claws scraping against steel. Max pacing, growling a storm behind bars. Liam spoke softly. "Is he scared?" Sophie blinked. "Yes," she admitted. "He doesn't trust anyone anymore." Liam's small fingers brushed the braided cord of his father's old K9 badge hanging from a chain around his neck. "That's what they said about Daddy's first dog too," he whispered. "But he just needed someone to tell him he was good." The officers exchanged wary glances. This was their last chance, and it seemed impossible that a boy could succeed where trained professionals had failed. But no one stopped him. The hallway felt narrower as they approached the kennel. Max was pacing, hackles raised, muscles rippling under his dark coat. His amber eyes locked on every movement. Liam didn't hesitate. He stepped closer, holding out his small hand palm open and steady. "Hello, Max," he whispered. "I'm Liam." For the first time in months, Max didn't lunge. He just stared. His ears flicked forward, his breath heavy, as if trying to understand the quiet presence standing in front of him. The room seemed to hold its breath. Liam took one careful step closer. Max's muscles bunched, a low growl rumbled deep in his chest. An officer instinctively reached for the kennel door handle, ready to pull Liam back. But Sophie lifted her hand. "Wait," she whispered. Liam didn't flinch. He tilted his head, listening to the growl, then let out a slow, steady breath. "It's okay," he murmured, as if reassuring both himself and the dog. Step by step, he moved closer until his small hand rested flat against the cold steel bars. Max's growl softened, turning into something almost like a confused whine. His massive head lowered, nostrils flaring as he sniffed Liam's scent. The boy's fingers trembled, but he didn't pull away. Instead, he leaned forward and whispered a single word. It was so quiet no one caught it at first, just the shape of his lips moving. He whispered it again, and this time, every officer in the room felt a chill run up their spine. It was the same word Liam's father had used during Max's training, the word that meant safety, the word that meant home. Steady, Liam breathed, his voice catching with emotion. Steady, Max, you're a good boy. The change was instant. Max went utterly still. For a heartbeat, the only sound was the faint hum of the fluorescent lights above. Then Max let out a low, shuddering sigh. He sank to the floor, pressing his massive body against the bars. His tail thumped weakly, unsure but hopeful. Liam's sightless eyes filled with tears. He reached through the gap and brushed warm fur for the first time. "You remember, don't you?" he whispered. Around them, grown men who had faced shootouts and explosions stood frozen, their throats tight, unable to speak. Max's sides heaved like he was fighting an invisible battle inside. And then, with a sound closer to a whimper than a growl, he nudged his nose into Liam's open palm. Liam smiled through his tears. "That's it," he whispered. "You're not alone anymore." Sophie's hand flew to her mouth. Max's amber eyes softened. The fury, the fear, it melted away like snow under the morning sun. Slowly, carefully, Max rolled onto his side and exposed his throat. A gesture of trust so deep, so pure, it felt sacred to witness. From that moment, everything changed. The untrainable dog, the one everyone feared, was gone. In his place was Max, the dog he used to be. Each morning, Liam came back to the precinct. He'd sit by Max's kennel, reading from his Braille storybooks, while Max rested his head against the bars, listening like every word mattered. The officers watched in awe. The dog who once lunged at strangers now wagged his tail the moment Liam's voice echoed through the halls. With every visit, Max's eyes grew brighter. His tail wagged a little faster. It was as if that whispered word had unlocked something buried so deep no one else could reach it. Months later, the department reassessed Max. He passed every test. Calm, focused, obedient. The paperwork was signed. Max was ready to work again. But this time, he wouldn't ride in a squad car or chase suspects down dark alleys. He had a new mission. Max began visiting schools and hospitals with Liam by his side. Together, they showed children, veterans, and anyone who needed hope that even the most broken hearts could heal. On the day Max left the precinct for his new assignment, the entire department lined the hall. Hardened officers stood tall and saluted. Liam turned his face toward the sound, smiling as he rested his hand on Max's broad neck. "Come on, buddy," he whispered softly. "Let's go help someone." And with that, the once broken K9 walked out the door, his tail wagging, ready for a second chance, just like the boy who believed in him. One of the most powerful lessons in Max and Liam's story is that healing often comes from the most unexpected places. Max, a once fearless K9, was broken by loss, consumed by fear and rage. Professionals tried everything to fix him, but it wasn't training or force that reached him. It was a single whispered word from a little boy who couldn't even see him, but somehow saw him in a way no one else could. In life, we all face moments when someone or something feels too far gone. A relationship that feels unfixable, a friend who seems unreachable, even parts of ourselves we think can never heal. But Max's transformation reminds us that no one is truly beyond hope. Sometimes all it takes is patience, trust, and a quiet reminder that they are still a good boy, still worthy of love. For older generations, this story is a gentle nudge that even in our later years, we can be that voice for someone, a grandchild, a neighbor, even a stranger. And just as importantly, we can allow someone to be that voice for us. Because healing doesn't always come from strength. Sometimes it comes from a soft word spoken at the right time by someone who believes.